Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
We're looking at Matthew chapter 5, verses 10 through 12, and we're talking about a decision about our disposition. There is a blessing attached to being persecuted for righteousness' sake. But now, let me ask the question, how are the righteous persecuted? Well, first of all, the righteous are persecuted by rejection. We look over at Luke chapter 6, verse number 22. Blessed are you when men hate you, and when they exclude you, and revile you, and cast your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. You see, the reality is there's going to be some people who hate you because of what you're doing, and what you're doing is right, and they hate the light. They love darkness, and that's a reality that we have to face. But also the righteous are persecuted by looting and destruction. Consider what's said in Hebrews chapter 10, verse number 34. For you had compassion on me in my chains, now get this, and joyfully, and I'll circle that word, and joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods. Now, if evil men came in and began to steal your property because you are a Christian, is that the way you would choose? Is that the decision you would make about your disposition? I'm telling you, that would be tough for me. But the text says, you joyfully accepted the plundering of your goods, knowing that you have a better and enduring possession for yourselves in heaven. In other words, they understood it's not just about this life. And the righteous are persecuted by harsh treatment. Consider 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 22 beginning, and we'll look at what Paul had to say there about the things that he endured. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequently, in deaths often. From the Jews 5 times I received 40 stripes minus 1. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned, and 3 times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day I've been in the deep. In journeys often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils of my own countrymen, in perils of the Gentiles, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in weariness and toil, in sleeplessness often, in hunger and thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness. And he goes on, besides the other things, what comes upon me daily, my deep concern for all the churches. And when we stop and we think about everything that Paul went through, and over in 2 Corinthians 4, he calls it momentary light affliction. Sometimes, the persecution that the righteousness face can be very difficult, but there is a blessing attached to it. It's about our decision, about our disposition. Join us again.